Hey YouTube, this is MindTech. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be unboxing, installing, and testing this Fenvi wireless AX3000 adapter for a desktop computer. It connects over the PCI Express, and this should be able to give all your computers wireless 6 capability, along with 2.4 gigabyte per second transfer speeds across the local area network. This should be a very good upgrade for my computer downstairs, which unfortunately does not have access to a wired connection that would be the most reliable and the best method, but in a lot of cases you can't do that. I honestly think that an adapter like this would be the next best option. So without any further ado, let's get this box open. It's like we have a nice pull tab right here. Kind of opens like an Apple product in a way, I guess. Wait for it. Ooh la la. Look at that. It is a whole lot smaller than I thought. That's okay. Size does not matter, especially in this scenario. Okay, so it looks like it has a removable backplate if you want to install it in like a small form factor build. Since I'm putting it in a small form factor to test it out, I'll have to install this. We also have 2 removable antennas, which is nice. I know that there were options that had wires that connected up to the card, and I'm pretty sure that if you already have a setup like that, it should be compatible. And that might be preferred if, let's say, you're in an area where you need to move it to get a better reception. But again, it's Wi-Fi 6, so you should have an okay reception either way. And oh my gosh. I've never owned one of these mini CDs. This is just incredible. So cute. I don't think I'll need a CD to install drivers, but you know, it is provided. We have some instructions in Chinese. Yeah, I don't speak Chinese, so that is no help to me at all. So that's all we had in the box. Actually, a lot more than I thought. Let me get this opened up. One reason why we purchased this one in particular was because it had a heatsink on the Wi-Fi chips. You never know how hot those can get, and you don't want it to like overheat when you're trying to transfer a lot of files. And it is actually very heavy also, so that kind of gives an indicator that it is of high quality. Bag. And it looks like we have some sort of adapter. This looks like it's for the front panel header on your motherboard. I have no idea. They also provided the screw for installing it in your computer. You know, everything that you need. A lot of the time, they just don't include that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to go and remove this backplate. Have to take off the little caps right here. Especially if you're building like a media center PC and you want to have some pretty good Wi-Fi performance and you don't want something like a power line solution. This might be just for you. How does this fit on? Come on, MindTech, you can get this. Basic algebra. There we go. It had to go under. I have to stick the little LED through this also. Don't want to break it right off the bat. Just have to push that down and get it to slot right in. And now just screw this right back in. And there we go. It is now ready to install into my small form factor PC, so let's get that done right now. Alright, so I have the computer in front of me. Take the top off. Notice the small PCI slot is already populated. You could either install this into a bigger one, it works perfectly fine, or I'm just going to take this out, carefully ease it out. And I'm going to go and slot this in. Just line up the golden pins at the bottom of the card with the 2 black sections on your motherboard. It might be a bit difficult because you have to really stick this metal piece through the hole in the back of the computer. And you might even have to take off a metal piece to make that hole possible. For instance, right here, there's still a metal piece. What my problem is, there's a little metal piece right here that blocks the PCI cards from being installed. So I'm going to remove a screw, drop that metal piece out, and it should be a lot simpler to install the card. Literally just like that. There should be a hole right next to this metal piece. Find that and stick the screw right in. Before I turn the system on and test the Wi-Fi speeds, I'm actually going to install the Bluetooth module. This is one thing that I forgot about when I actually opened it up. Plug this little cable into the header on the PCB. It looks like this is just going to plug into a regular USB 2.0 port on the motherboard. I'm just gonna find a USB header. There's one missing pin right here and one missing pin right on the front USB. Just gonna plug that right in and see if that works. I'm also going to quickly plug in these antennas. All you have to do is screw them right in. This top part can swivel independently from the bottom part, so you can adjust the positioning. Hold the bottom piece, swivel the top. Now I can move it out. And that's as easy as it is to get it set up. Now I'm going to go and turn on the computer and wait for it to start up. Log on to Windows. And now as you can see, there is no Wi-Fi adapter detected. And if I pop onto Device Manager, there are some unknown network controllers, and there's also one flat out unknown device, and that is the Bluetooth controller. Since my computer isn't connected to a network, which probably is going to be your case, I'm just going to insert in the optical media. Fits in right there. It is just so cute, guys. Then I'm going to pop on over to this PC and wait for this to load up in the optical drive. I'm first going to install the Wi-Fi driver. They are Intel drivers. It is labeled an Intel disk. That means that it isn't some Chinese thing that's going to install some malware onto your computer, supposedly. So we'll just wait for this to configure as some stuff is going on in Device Manager. Detected some devices. Now it showed up with the Wi-Fi 6 Intel adapter. There's also a lot of WAN mini port adapters for different connection types that you can establish. So now the Wi-Fi driver is installed, I'm going to go and install the Bluetooth driver. All right, click on next, accept that terms of service, and I'm just going to click on typical for a regular installation. This is also an Intel wireless Bluetooth driver. Now there is a Bluetooth section which has all these different Bluetooth adapters. Now if I pop into my computer settings and search for Bluetooth, and I go to add a Bluetooth device, click on Bluetooth again, it starts searching for different Bluetooth devices. So now if I go down into my taskbar and click on the internet local, right now it says no Wi-Fi networks found. It should be showing up with Wi-Fi networks right now. Why don't I just turn Wi-Fi off and on? Why is it doing this to me? Let me restart my computer quickly and see if that helps. Log back onto the computer. If I go down into Wi-Fi properties again, there we go. Now we have the Wi-Fi options. So now you can just select your Wi-Fi network like you normally would. Just sign in with the same password that you set up in your router. So if I pop onto CMD, ping google.com, we have established a connection to Google. I'm first going to test the network speeds against these two other adapters, wireless N and a wireless AC adapter. It's USB 2 and USB 3 accordingly. Then I'm going to test it using a wired Ethernet connection, and then I'm going to go and test the connection speed on the local area network. Let's go to speedtest.net. Click on go. The ping time is very good, even for a wired connection. We are getting about 115 down, which is the speed that I expect if I plug in my computer. And we're getting about 8 on the upload. We're paying for about 13 or so, but it looks like right now it's just having troubles. This is actually limited by the ISP. Incredibly good internet speeds right there. I'm very impressed with that. Now let's go and test the AC adapter. If I just go to internet and sharing settings and change adapter settings, you can actually go in and disable the adapter, disable that, and now it rolls right over to the Linksys adapter that they just plugged in. Refresh speed test. Now I'm going to click on go again. Ping time 36, I'm not too concerned about that. Oops, it looks like it had a download test error. So that probably is because it lost an internet connection. Ooh, it looks like it's also connected to the 2.4 gigahertz, so I'm going to connect on over to the 5G. I've had problems with this adapter since I bought it. It just goes to show that maybe installing a Wi-Fi card is the best solution if you don't have access to a wired Ethernet connection. Now let's see if it's going to decide to start the Wi-Fi test. Nope. I'm actually going to go and plug it into a different USB port. Unplug that, plug her back in, connect right back up there. Now we're actually getting a test, but those speeds were concerning me for a second. We're pushing about 30, 40, hoping we get to about 80. That's what I get on my phone. Not horrible. I'm going to try and run this test again just to see if we can't push any better speeds. Let me unplug this again. Press go one more time. There we go. Now we're getting the speeds that I was expecting. About 85, 86. We got to 90. Okay. Alright, so we are, we almost got to the speeds of the Wi-Fi 6. It is just bottlenecked. It's not that reliable. That's even worse than what it was before. So I'm going to go and plug in the wireless N adapter right here, just to see how much this technology has improved. It doesn't even have access to 5G internet. Ping time 33 milliseconds. Doesn't make that big a difference. We're only pushing about 50 or 60 on the download speed. This should be getting about 90. So as you can see, they are incremental improvements. This wireless AC is probably about 1/4 time slower than the AX. The wireless N is about 1/2 time slower than the wireless AX. And finally, I'm going to go and plug this in using a wired connection, and we have that nice staff down at the bottom. The ping time again is about what we got. Download speed is basically about the same as that wireless card. I think we even got a faster speed, which is honestly incredible. And it's also about the same for the upload speed. It is connected to 1 GB per second, and if I go onto the Wi-Fi, I have to establish a connection. I'll also unplug this cable right here. This is connected at 1.2 gigabits per second. Still isn't the advertised speed. They said that it should be connecting at 2.4 gigabits per second. It is still faster than the NIC that is embedded into this motherboard. You know, it's dropped down to about 500 megabits per second, so I guess it's talking specifically about the speed that it's pushing at any given moment. I'm gonna plug this back into my desktop, and I'm going to pop onto command prompt again and run an ipconfig just to get the IPv4 address. So it looks like the DHCP assigned this. Alright, so now I'm going to create a shared folder on this computer so that I can access it from my workstation computer. Right click, make myself a new folder, go into its properties, sharing, and click on the share button to share that out. So now I'm going to pop on over to this computer and open up the file explorer, type in the IP address. Now it asks me to log in with the credentials for this computer. As you can see, now we have access to the users folder and basically every single folder that I have up until that share. Now I'm going to go and pull up one of my older videos, copy that over. Looks like we're pushing about 5 megabytes per second. Normally I expect about 13 or so. 13.5 I think is the limit of this network. Not sure why. It's been a reoccurring problem that I've had for a really long time. Looks like right now we're only going to push about 5. Pretty disappointing speed, to be honest. So now I'm going to go and do the same thing, but now I'm going to log on to my workstation computer. We'll run a quick ipconfig. And we have the 2 shares that I've established on my computer. So I'll pop on over to my render farm and I will transfer this video back over. And it looks like we're even getting slower speeds. That is still quite peculiar. So this must be some sort of limit, probably to do with the router. Since I'm kind of crunched on time though right now, I'm not going to worry about rebooting the router, which is probably the procedure that you should run. Yeah, I'm just going to cancel this. I want to just try one more thing. I have a Bluetooth mouse with me right now. I'm going to try and add that into this computer. Pop on over to my settings, search for Bluetooth, go into the Bluetooth and other devices settings, then click on add a Bluetooth device, press the pair button. So you detected my TV pretty well. Oh, it looks like it has found the Microsoft Sculpt Comfort Curve mouse. That's literally as easy as it gets. So now I can do all my mousing with this Sculpt Comfort Curve mouse. And on that note, I'm actually really happy with this Fenvi adapter. My expectations going into it was, it's kind of a no-name brand, but it honestly surprised me. I was honestly complacent with the wireless AC speeds that I got, but this upgrade alone has just improved my experience so much. Probably the best internet experience you can get, if not better than plugging it directly into the NIC on your motherboard. And also it has had a 100% uptime. We haven't had any issues with it, and we've been using it for about a week now. It's only about $40 on Amazon. It's worth every single penny. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.